So, welcome to another episode of the Philosophy of Chillin. I'm your host, Don't Let the Connect. And again, you are seeing me with another co-host, somebody that's bringing their own ideology to the table and just coming to sit here and chill with me and have a discussion. And if you would, so kindly,
Well,
introduce
I
yourself.
appreciate you for bringing me. First of all,
Always.
I go by the name of Young Sato 56. I'm an entrepreneur, artist, producer, uh, person. I'm from Atlanta, grew up around here, and yeah, that's the basis of me right now.
So, with that being said, y'all are going to get a very thorough perspective and universal one as well. So as always, I don't really tell the people that I interview what the topic is until we're actually recording. So I like to pose an overarching question and then we just dissect it
Okay.
and see where the experiences lie and everything else. So the topic of today is growth. Um, how has your philosophy of growth developed as you have been experiencing your own life's journey?
I say with growth, it definitely, as a little kid, you think of it as a physical thing, but over time, it's really mental, spiritual. Like my way of seeing if I grow is actually to see if I notice, after a few years, because when you're pushing, you may not necessarily know it. But then you sit and look back, you just be like, wow, I actually grew. Mentally, you can grow by, getting past certain traumas or just barriers, obstacles. That can be family, that could be friends, that could be shit, your phone. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways you can grow, but it's like, are you growing for the better or the worse? So that's just how I gauge things for real.
That's interesting. So, like, what did you have to experience in order to have that ideology? Or to even to be able to say it and articulate it because it came from somewhere?
Say growing up, like my mom, my dad, we'd be talking for hours and stuff like that about just everything. And, that expanded my mind a lot because not only was I learning something about myself, I was learning something about them. You know what I'm saying? So that's like another growth of relationship. You know what I'm saying? And, to know your parents also helps you know yourself because, indirectly related. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But not even indirectly, directly. But
Hell yeah.
I just grew up with that, grew up meditating a lot with my dad, martial arts. All of those helped me hone myself and my skills and stuff like that. And also in return, help with my music, you know. So it took a lot of growth when it came to music because, growing up, I was I was that kid who grew up in Atlanta, but people didn't think I was from Atlanta. So I had to grow and learn how to be in different environments, you know what I'm saying? And that was another growth, you know what I'm saying? Emotional growth. Um, yeah, Atlanta made me who I am.
For better or worse.
Yeah, facts.
No, that's real. I mean, I can relate to that as well. Because it's not from the confusion of being from Atlanta, but in terms of the last topic that I was talking to somebody about, transformation. Atlanta had to experience that shit.
Very true.
And that's a growth aspect because it forces you to challenge your mindset.
Your initial beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
For better or for worse. Real shit. So talking about your music and everything like that, I know, of course, your personal background definitely had a play on what type of music you perform and what type of music you create and shit like that.
Yeah.
But how have you seen your development? Because even though it was your foundation, I know you have grown since that respect.
Yeah, very true. I say my origins of music, all of it was based off of friendships, you know what I'm saying? you have experiences with your friends, you talk about it. Like that's exactly what I did. Like I grew up in like a Pan African family and community, and a lot of stuff we talked about was like you know knowing about who you are as a person. I did martial arts, and that was African Brazilian martial art, and that
Mm,
was kind of like a dance. So
mm,
it kind of gave me a certain rhythm when it came to rap too.
mm.
So like,
Ooh, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah, it gave me kind of Afro trap
Mm,
feeling, and that's kind of where I get my cadence from. But
mm,
like friends who I grew up with, like my twin brother, we had a group. Had
mm,
someone from school who I went to school with and grew up with. We
mm,
were in the group too. We were in the band for a long time, and then Dakari, we
mm,
ended up making music like 2015, I think,
mhm, mhm,
and we just kept developing that. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the main people I made music with, and we just do that all the time. A lot of jazz influence. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Pharoah Sanders, somebody who we grew up like just sampling a lot. Um, a lot of Japanese stuff. Anime, like anime
Yeah,
definitely influenced my music.
that's real.
Yeah, like, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, Studio Ghibli. Like my dad, he had me on all the Studio Ghibli. Like,
Man, I just had a guest come onto the show not too long ago. Um, J Red
mm.
or
Oh,
the
the tattoo artist.
no,
Okay,
he's not a tattoo artist. He is a personality
mm.
and a DJ,
That's hard.
and he does so many things. Honestly, because I could really go down the list. But the even if I got his name wrong, the episode is called like Red's View.
Mm.
Um, so like he was talking about Dragon Ball Z and just how it had influenced him as well, and what he was able to get from the episodes.
Man,
Psh.
as a little kid, like you see this little nigga busting and throwing niggas and blasting niggas, it's just like I got to do that shit. But obviously, you can't do it in the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But it also just taught you like he would die and come back to life. Like that's a way of failing and coming back. Like he never truly died. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
internally, he was always going. Like it didn't matter. And like that's how I feel about music. Like One Piece definitely made me like gave me a mentality that like it don't matter what anybody else think. Like you just gotta do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, pretty much. I
okay.
mean, even with that being said, because even for myself, like for sure, I can take a lot of that and put it to actively what I'm living right now.
Mm, real deal, for real. I feel you on that. That shit is real life.
But the one thing I've learned is if it's really from a good place, because like you said, even in the Dragon Ball Z, it was coming from a pure drive of
Mm,
not an intention or negativity. He was just trying to get what he needed to get done.
yeah, facts.
And even for myself and for other artists as well, like I can see how they can relate to that because everything is not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah,
Like
very true.
legally, creatively,
Hmm.
mm, I wouldn't say even in music, yeah.
We all
To
have
be
our
more
own.
specific,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like with music, like I won't say everyone's not meant to do it. I just say everyone has to figure out what's meant for them to like figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like if we all just did the same thing, then we just all did the same thing. But if we figure out what we really want to do, what our sound is, what our vibe is, like it may sound ugly at first, but like that's what a rough draft is. You know
And
what
it
I'm
has
saying?
to keep developing and keep
Mm-hmm.
growing.
Facts.
And I said all that to say, okay, now you've experienced, you can look back, but in terms of what you're using now, with your evolved philosophy and the experiences you have had recently, how are you kind of focusing that in on your today, and what does that look like?
Well, I can start off with what it looks like. Like every day is a drive, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always pushing, always doing work that I need to do, working on the album while I'm still clocking in work
Mm-hmm.
time, like driving to where I need to get, taking care of family at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all like motivation, real life, you know, going out with my friends, like all life. So like when I think about that and put it into the music, like it just comes from such an authentic place. How could it not feel real to anyone else? You know what I'm saying? That's just the best way I feel. And y'all hear that?
Ooh.
But
Dang,
yeah,
that was good.
yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but
I
that
don't
was
know.
good.
It's this tea,
You feel me?
but nah,
Uh,
it's definitely like important to just be yourself for real, because
mm,
that's the only way that you could tell your story. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah. And one thing I'll add to that, and what something that I'm realizing for myself too, presently, like today, is the fact that if you're not bold enough to speak that or walk that, the story never gets told. There's nothing to ever challenge. There's nothing to push the growth,
Mm,
because what are people fighting for
thanks.
if it's not for something or someone?
Yeah, that's very true. Like, where is the drive coming from? Like,
Yeah.
where is the passion? Like, will that passion run out? Because it's like it could be a fad. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be temporary, and like life is not temporary, of course, because shit
Mm-hmm.
is eternal. But you have to let it be eternal, or else you're just gonna cut yourself off, like cut yourself short, like before
Mm-hmm.
you even let it happen. Like, that's why it's just important, like to always remain who you are, no matter what anybody else thinks. Because like that's you know, I ain't gonna say everybody's the same because that's not true. We're all
That's
individuals.
facts. That's facts.
But I would say sometimes, like with the modern day social media and stuff like that, it's very hard for people to like not follow prompts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I understand it.
yeah, but that's what's beautiful about the world. Like you can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah. You just gotta have the right amount of people willing to back you when somebody is trying to restrict your life,
Yeah, fact.
especially when it's not a harm to others.
Mm.
But that's a topic for another day.
Look, we're getting deep, bro.
Let's not even. I'm
It's
not. I. Ain't,
philosophy though.
you
Shit,
feel
yeah.
me? I get it, but you know what? I'm not even. I ain't even grown that much to have that conversation. I get to cuss somebody out.
Look,
Like,
part five.
you feel me? You feel me? But with that being said, okay. So really, I mean, I guess the only phase now, because I've been trying to ask you about past, present, future.
Mm.
So to end off, at least the questions that I have for you, because later on, when I'm done with all my questions before we end the episode, I always pass the baton.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you have any questions for me that you always wanted to ask or anything like that, it doesn't have to pertain to growth specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay, most definitely.
oh yeah, let me put this. Yeah, I got to focus for this last
Mm-hmm.
question. My fault.
No, you're good.
So with what you've experienced, where you are now, and how you're concentrating, focusing, like envisioning moving forward, how do you expect your philosophy to grow? And in what ways do you feel that might impact your actions?
Mm. I like that. I'll say the self growth aspect of like remaining self critical has always helped me like retain my philosophy when I'm trying to like remember where I was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of times where you can fall off that boat or fall off that bridge or trip, but it's like the best way to really put yourself in a position for me, you know what I'm saying, to follow my philosophy is to, remind myself. Different ways I can remind myself are listening back to what it was before, you know what I'm saying? Not to go back to the past, but just to remember, like, this is the motivation, this is the passion, this is why I'm doing this. And, you know, the action behind that is, you know, moving forward. Because it's like, you know, you got to put in 10,000 hours, you got to put in 10,000 more hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, the journey doesn't stop. Like, it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're alive, your journey is still here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the action moving forward, just like one foot at a time.
Yeah. No, I respect that for sure. Honestly, that's how I try to take life at this point. Like, I can sit here and have a good feeling of what is to happen next, but honestly, I still gotta live it. Like,
I feel that.
even if it doesn't happen in the way that I saw it, I'm still have to live something.
Yeah. Facts. You gotta do something. Facts. You here?
Like, why are you waking me up? Like, something's gonna happen. I don't know, but shit.
Yeah, facts.
So, with that being said, I guess these are the final seconds of the episode.
Not bad.
Without further ado, it's on you.
So, like, with artistry, how do you feel you remain within your calling? And if you feel like you're drawing yourself away from your calling, what do you do?
Respect. Oh, dang, that's a great question. Whoa, that's a great question. Okay, so it has layers to it for sure. How do you respect of explaining each one too? Because I know y'all might want to go click off. It's cool, y'all can click off now. I got some minutes up in here by now, but I will like explain.
Okay.
So honestly, what was it? Up until senior year of high school, there was a perpetuation of what a woman should be and what she should do. I've read a lot of books because in my younger years, and it never sit well with me just on how you can limit a body when they also have a soul. So like, how can, if they're genuinely not hurting somebody and they don't have a like serial killer, that lock them away,
Yes, most definitely.
It's a completely different situation. Like, you're physically repeatedly like you're out of control, bro. Like, I'm sorry, we gonna have to lock you away. Like, but if you're somebody that is actually participating in acts that are trying to profit, whether you have good or bad intentions, now deal with the bad intentions how we need to. But when it's genuinely identified, that's what was going on in my mind. So when I got acquainted with the, in my perspective, material world of life, societal standards, cultures, you know, the things that actually pertain to our surface level bodies. I was just like, okay, I don't like this. And because I felt that, you know, we have our cultural norms, you know, stay in child's place, you know, I just got tired of having to say something that wasn't going to be listened to. So I just be quiet. And when I was quiet on what I wanted transparently internally, and I had to exude something that I was not externally, I'm I'm in the worst mind state. So it wasn't until senior year where it was like, okay, now I'm getting close to the legal age.
Yeah.
Like, y'all said 18? Cool with me.
Mm.
I just need to graduate.
Yeah.
I was in line graduating, like, come on, give me the paper.
That's beautiful.
That's all I need. Because
Yeah.
at that point, I'm like, look, I know I have to create my own opportunities, and I want to make sure it's something that is a genuine reflection of me, and not something I'm trying to protrude, but something that I literally walk this shit. Like,
Yeah.
I literally can't make half the shit up that I've actually seen, been through, like lived through, like. So with that being said, like, because of that mentality, it brought me my freshman year of college. My great grandma passed away, and that was the automatic, like, okay, get serious with just getting your intention right. Because I was already in the process of doing it mentally,
Yeah.
but it was kind of slow.
Growth.
Yeah, you feel me? And once that happened, it was like a. So even when I got back home and stuff, when it came to what I genuinely wanted to do in life was to just help people.
Yeah.
With whatever skills I had. Because I wasn't focused on the skills. I was just focused on doing the shit I needed to do at the quality level that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And from there, get as many accreditation certifications that I need so I can build these foundations and then make my own rules and then fight the other people later.
Created your own world, facts.
You feel me? Like, I know I'm gonna have to enter that legal political shit at some point, but please, I ain't got the patience right now for that shit. So I'm just like, that was my mental, basically.
Yeah.
So when it came to people asking me, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? I'm like, okay. So the artistry kind of got pulled out of me because it wasn't my main focus, I guess, in a sense. And I'm only able to articulate it now because I'm in this film fellowship and they're like challenging us to like literally
draw out your.
Yeah, and I'm like, for sure.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And it's time now, you know what I'm saying? Better than ever.
Hey, I'm just chilling, man.
Yeah. Philosophy of Chillin.
Hey, man, I'm just like, for real, like, you asked me how I make decisions on how I not stray away from it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really because when I make my toughest decisions, I really follow my gut. Like, I don't really budge on it because I know it's not really my surface level emotions that are driving it, because it's really my surface level emotions that are trying to prevent me from doing it, from good logic too, of course. But it's like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because that could compromise this. But there's a need for this, and my gut is just like, okay, it's nagging me in my head. I can't. So when I have faced decisions, prime example, when I was graduating, and even today, like when I'm living right now, I had job opportunities in all these other industries: banking, real estate, fucking teaching, shoot, damn, it was another one, but even the one I got that I stepped away from like recently today, they was like, yo, we'll pay you weekly, almost 1,000 a week, and then you can grow within a certain couple of months in order to have a position where you're at a managerial level.
Yeah.
And the person I was talking to was literally trying to, like, I could hear it in his voice, even though he was very professional. He was literally like, okay, yeah, once you get in here, we're going to make sure we excel with you. Like, we're going to work with you to do this so you can achieve your financial goals at a faster pace. So in my mind, I'm like, bro, this makes sense. Like, I really need to do this.
Yeah.
But before, I had accepted a film fellowship a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, bro, this directly impacts my schedule. Like, I can't even attend it. I have to literally walk away from it.
Mm.
Like I can't even try to negotiate you allowing me certain days
Scheduling and stuff
off.
like
You know what I'm saying? Like no, I'm like, and I'm thinking in my head, and even in college, like I had all these acceptances before graduation month. The very last company, it was only because they were recruiting at Howard because there were some past Howard alums
Yeah.
that were, you know, of course, advocating for the space and the recruitment of the students. And I just so happened to see the information, and I'm like, the company is Immediate Entertainment. It was for consulting. I was like, what the heck?
Dang.
I was like, this is
In
dealing
line.
exactly
Yeah.
with what my friends have said they wanted me to do. So,
Yeah.
like, it would be remiss of me not to look at the opportunity and be like, let me see how I can learn more.
Yeah.
So, I click on it. I get it. Even now, like, I'm living in a decision where I declined the other opportunity that was basically guaranteed money
Yeah.
for something that starting lower, but I'm not because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm learning a new version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not time wasted, but it's also like surface level emotion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my soul has since since the job I got from college to now, my soul hasn't been shaky at all.
Mm-hmm.
Even before I got gifted this crystal, well, not gifted, I got it for myself. But how the purchase got initiated was a gift. And even before I got that, like, of course I had my worries, I had my concerns, but my soul was like, bro, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're good. Like, hey,
Oh, God.
internally, I'm
right.
good.
Like, and then on the surface, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Nah, for real though.
That's the best way I can explain it.
Nah.
So, like, when you ask me how, like, that's literally how I'm walking in right now. Like,
Nah, that's beautiful. I love that description.
thank you. So, as y'all know, we just chilling, to be honest.
Thanks.
I can't lie. We're gonna keep talking after this, but y'all gotta go. So if you want to see more episodes, y'all know where to go. I mean, y'all, how many subscribers, YouTubers it be? Giggles.
Nah, fact. Like and subscribe.
Right.
You can fuck with Giggles, you can fuck with us.
Right. And introduce yourself.
I go by Young Sato 56 on all plats. SATO. Check me out.
All right. With that being said, we out. Peace.
Peace.